Hello, friends. We welcome you to the Legal Breeze. Many friends have asked me to air my views on this controversial judgment on quote unquote EWS, economically weaker section, its constitutional validity. We all know reservation has been given to solve two issues, to resolve two issues. One is to ensure that adequate representation is given to the marginalized community or stigmatized community. That includes backward class, that is OBCs, SCs, and STs. Then, to ensure that a level playing field is given to them, so as to undo all the social injustice what was unleashed against them. Just in order to do that, this reservation has been given. The political reservation has been given only to SCs and STs. Though it was given to the OBCs only in Madras provinces, after the commencement of the constitution, it has been struck off. This is the history for reservation. Please remember, reservation is not that it has been given only by the constitution. It was there, it is a pre-constitutional practice. When the Britishers have introduced reservation, it was prevailing during the British Raj itself. Even for OBCs, the best example is Kolhapur Maharaja. Now, how this case has come? History. Way back in 1990s, Sri VP Singh has announced to implementation of the Mandal Commission recommendation, which recommended 27% reservation for OBCs. However, VP Singh government couldn't last longer due to political instability. However, he has announced the implementation. The next incoming Prime Minister, Sri Narasimha Rao, couldn't stop this because of vote bank politics. However, it's a well known fact since Narasimha Rao himself is a Brahmin, an upper caste. He wants to do some justice for his community. And there is a huge violence unleashed against these people by the so called upper caste, fearing that when OBCs are given competition, reservation, they will lose their opportunity. Even it's a well known fact, it's recorded. Students from IIM Ahmedabad, particularly girl students, went on agitation, organized agitation, that their husbands will lose job, therefore Brahmins particularly, upper caste people, they said it is an open fact. Now to balance this and to calm these violence, whatever it is, Sri Narasimha Rao announced 10% reservation for economically weaker it's not economically weaker section, EBCs, that is, though you may be forward by caste, but you may be economically weaker or economically backward. This is how the concept has started way back in 1990s. Indra Sagani case is much spoken about it. Indra Sagani is a journalist who has witnessed this violence against this Mandal Commission. See that when these people have announced reservation for the so-called upper caste, you don't even have the guts to say that you are giving reservation to the upper caste. You are naming them hypocritically as economically weaker section, as a phrase which has been described to uplift the SCs and STs and other downtrodden. Either you admit, the upper caste people have to admit that we have become suddenly downtrodden, therefore we need reservation. You don't want to admit it. On the other hand, when the reservation is given to them OBCs and SC STs, you say that it is anti-merit. When the reservation is given to the upper caste, you say it is merit. Such a stand of hypocrisy. When the Indra Sagani case has been filed, immediately Supreme Court has stayed this. see that this time judiciary didn't do that. And it's not even a single bloodshed. There can be two reasons. Maybe these people could have become highly civilized. These so-called OBCs, they don't want to agitate, or there is no awareness, because Ambedkar used to say educate, organize and agitate, because people, they do not know what is their rights at all. So that is the problem. Now let me come back to this judgment. The judgment is splitted. 5 judges, 3 is to 2. Now let me address the assenting judgment or majority judgment. Majority judgment says upholds the constitutional validity. Like, I agree whatever parliament says. This is very evident from the judgment made by Srimati Beulah Trivedi. She says whatever legislature says, it is good, because legislature has better wisdom than the judiciary, that she herself admits. So she says legislature knows the better needs of the people in a better way. So therefore, whatever legislature says, it is fine, and therefore it is constitutionally valid. I don't know whether this is a reason to hold this constitutional validity. Please see her background. She is from district judiciary. She may not have greater experience. We don't say she doesn't know anything, but she would not have better experience on constitutional uh, matters, constitutional interpretations, like Justice Ravindra Bhatt, who has very, very extraordinary experience on interpretation of constitutional matters is concerned. So the bench composition itself like that. All the majority judges are very new. They don't have such a greater exposure on constitutional interpretational process is concerned. However, their judgment has become majority. Now, on the minority side, though it is minority, but that includes CJI. That's very, very important. If you see CJI as a greater weightage among all other judges, he is first among the equals administratively, though it doesn't have such a special privilege judicially, but it has a greater due weightage. CJI and Justice, the then CJI, Sri Ramana, UU Lalit and Justice Ravindra Bhatt has dissented. They say it is unconstitutional since it violates basic structure. It's very important. They have made a very, very alarming caution. Right? They say this economically weaker section reservation, the 103rd Amendment, will entirely destroy the whole social fabric which the edifice has been built upon by our tireless efforts of our constitutional framers for the past 75 years will be collapsing. After 75 years of independence, it's irony again to note that the assenting judges, the majority judges, want to put an end to this reservation. They say it is only temporary, so you should end it. But then why you want to extend 10% reservation, that too for the upper caste? And again, there may be some meaning in giving reservation to them in jobs when they are economically weaker, or EBCs, because EBCs concept, economically backward class concept, is already prevailing in various states including Gujarat. There may be some meaning to that. There may be some justification. We don't justify, but still there can be some justification. But when it is a proven fact, then they are educationally forward. Why you need to give them reservation in education? That's a $1 billion question. That question has not at all been addressed. This bench. That's very unfortunate. Many people relying upon the arguments made by the lawyer, but since I am an academician, I want to salute Sri Madan Gopal, who happens to be an academician. He has argued before the bench very emphatically against this 103rd Amendment. He says that calling them economically weaker section itself is hypocrisy. He says that you can straight away name them, it is a reservation for upper caste. Why you say other than people covered under 16.4 and 15.4? That's an illusory word what you are using. Second thing, Uh, Again, this is a freebie, something like that. These politicians are cheating everyone, including the upper caste people today, because there is no jobs at all. If you say economically backward, a criteria which has been outrightly rejected by during the constitutional framing days, because the entire country is economically backward. Even today, if you cover all these things, 99% of people will come under the blanket of reservation. Do you have jobs to provide them? The solution is to create or generate employment, meaningful employment, real employment. This is the preamble of WTO says like that. So unless you create meaningful employment just by providing reservations, it is nowhere helpful to none. It's not at all helpful. It's only a jobless growth. So this is not good in the interest of the nation or for the society, for that, as the case may be. Again, we wanted to legally agitate. People should raise voice against this. This is something the professor calls this as a blender upon constitutional democracy. This is something he calls it as a second idiom Jabalpur. But however, one should be having certain hope, because the dissenting judgments have also become the future law of the land, though not today. We hope such a bright future comes sooner rather than later. God bless you all. Jai Hind. Thank you.